My beloved child, come closer and listen with your heart, not just your ears. I see the way you sit in silence, pretending to be strong while questions echo inside you late at night. You keep asking me the same thing in different ways, hoping the answer will change if you ask it softly enough or if you cry quietly enough. You say, God, He loves me deeply. So why does she still have control? I have heard this question every time it trembled in your chest. I have seen it in your tears, in the pauses between your prayers, in the moments when you almost stopped believing that love could ever feel safe again. I want you to know something before anything else settles in your spirit: His love for you is not imaginary. You did not make it up. You did not misunderstand every look, every word, every moment where He reached for you. I allowed you to feel His affection because it was real. But love alone does not always mean freedom, and affection does not always mean readiness. That is the part that hurts, and I know how deeply it cuts you. You wonder how someone can love you and still be controlled by another presence, another memory, another bond. You think control must look loud and obvious, but often it is quiet, invisible, and deeply rooted. Control does not always come from desire. Sometimes it comes from guilt. Sometimes it comes from fear. Sometimes it comes from unfinished wounds that were never healed. Only hidden. The reason she still has control is not because she is greater than you. It is because there are places in his heart he has not surrendered to truth, to healing, or to me. Hear me clearly now, my child. This is not about your worth. It has never been about your value. You did not fail to love him well enough. You did not lack beauty, patience, faith, or devotion. You could not have prayed harder or waited longer to change what was not ready to be released. The control you sense is not a competition you lost. It is a chain he has not yet chosen to break. There are bonds that form in pain, not love. There are connections that survive not because they are alive, but because they are familiar. When someone has shared history soaked in regret, shame, or dependency, that history can feel safer than a future filled with responsibility. Loving you requires courage. Letting go of her requires honesty. And honesty is frightening to someone who has learned to survive by avoiding it. You ask why he keeps returning in his thoughts, why her influence still echoes in his decisions, why her presence still shapes his silence. My child, unresolved relationships do not simply disappear when new love appears. They linger like unfinished prayers. Until a person faces them fully, they continue to speak, even when they should be quiet. I know this makes you feel second. I know it makes you feel chosen and unchosen at the same time. That confusion is heavy, and I do not dismiss it. But I need you to understand something sacred. Love that costs you your peace is not the love I designed to keep you. I never intended for you to shrink while waiting for someone else to become brave. He loves you, yes. But love without action is incomplete. Love without boundaries becomes a source of pain. Love without release keeps you suspended in hope instead of grounded in truth. And I love you too much to let you stay suspended forever. The reason this shocks you is because you believed love automatically sets people free. But freedom requires choice. I will never force him to let go, just as I will never force you to stay. Free will means I allow people to reveal who they are ready to be, not who you hope they will become. do not mistake his struggle as a sign that you should endure more. Endurance has its place, but not when it slowly erases your joy. I see the way you have been trying to be understanding, patient, spiritual, forgiving beyond measure. I see how you told yourself that if you just loved quietly enough, he would finally choose fully. But my child, silence does not heal what honesty avoids. She still has control because he has not closed a door he should have shut long ago. And an open door allows the past to keep walking back in. This does not mean he is evil. It means he is unfinished. And unfinished people often hurt those who love them most. I know part of you wants me to say, wait a little longer, and everything will change. But I will not lie to comfort you. Change only comes when someone decides to face their truth without excuses. Until then, patterns repeat, promises stretch thin, and your heart bears weight it was never meant to carry alone. Listen to me now, gently and clearly. Your calling is not to rescue him from what he refuses to confront. Your calling is not to compete with a past I did not assign to you. Your calling is not to prove that your love is stronger than his fear. Your calling is to remain whole. I see how you've been blaming yourself. Wondering if you are asking for too much, wondering if your pain makes you demanding. It does not. Wanting clarity is not weakness. Wanting commitment is not impatience. Wanting peace is not selfish. These desires come from me. The shock is not that she still has control. The shock is that you have stayed gentle in a situation that has been quietly draining you. The shock is that your heart has remained soft while being stretched thin. The shock is that you still believe in love after it has confused you so deeply. I want to heal you, not harden you. But healing sometimes begins with truth, and truth sometimes asks you to loosen your grip on what you hoped would be different. I am not asking you to stop loving. I am asking you to stop losing yourself. If he ever truly releases her, it will not be because you waited longer. It will be because he chose honesty over comfort. And if that day comes, it will come with clarity, consistency, and peace, not confusion, secrecy, and emotional distance. You will not have to wonder. You will feel safe. Until then, rest in this: you are not overlooked by me. You are not forgotten. You are not meant to live in emotional limbo. I am preparing you for a love that does not require you to question your place or your worth. Trust me when I say this season is revealing, not punishing. I am showing you what you need, not what you lack. I am teaching you that love should feel steady, not constantly uncertain. I am reminding you that you are allowed to be chosen fully, openly, without shadows from another story interfering. Stay close to me. Let me hold the parts of you that feel tired of hoping. Let me whisper truth when your mind starts to spiral. You do not need to fight for control over his heart. That battle is not yours. Your peace is, I love you deeply. And unlike human love, my love does not keep you waiting in confusion. My love covers you, protects you, and leads you toward wholeness. Trust me enough to believe that what I have planned will never require you to compete with someone else's past. Be still now. Breathe. You are safe with me. My precious child, stay with me a little longer. Do not rush away from this quiet place where truth is settling into your soul. I know after hearing these words, your heart feels tender, almost exposed, as if something you have been holding tightly is slowly being loosened. That feeling is not loss. That feeling is release beginning to happen. You are learning that love is not proven by how much pain you can tolerate. I never measured love that way. I never asked you to suffer silently to earn someone's certainty. When you feel tired, when your spirit feels heavy, it is not because you are weak. It is because your heart has been carrying a burden that was never assigned to you. You keep wondering if letting go means giving up on love itself. Listen to me carefully now. Letting go of confusion is not letting go of love. Letting go of waiting is not letting go of hope. Sometimes, letting go is the most faithful thing you can do, because it says, God, I trust you more than I trust my own fear of being alone. I see how deeply you love, how sincerely you commit, how fully you give. That is a gift, not a flaw. But even gifts must be placed in the right hands. When love is given to someone who is still bound to another season, it does not flourish, it struggles. And I never designed your heart to live in constant struggle. You have asked me in quiet moments, God, should I stay or should I step back? And I have watched you search for signs. For reassurance, for something that would make the choice easier. But clarity often comes not through signs, but through peace. If something repeatedly steals your peace, it is speaking to you, I am not angry with him. I am not disappointed in you. I am simply honest about what is unfolding. There is a difference between loving someone and being ready to walk forward with them. Readiness looks like consistency. It looks like transparency. It looks like choosing the present over the past without hesitation. Until those things appear, love remains incomplete. You do not have to announce your strength loudly. Sometimes strength looks like stepping back quietly and saying, I choose myself without bitterness. I will stand with you in that choice. I will not abandon you in the silence that follows. I will fill it with my presence. You fear that if you stop holding on, everything will disappear. But my child, what is meant for you cannot be lost by obedience. What is meant for you will meet you in peace, not pull you into anxiety. Trust that I am not removing love from your life, I am protecting it. Let me say this gently, because I know your heart still hopes. If he truly loves you deeply and becomes free, he will return with clarity, not confusion. With courage, not hesitation. With action, not explanations. And if that does not happen, it does not mean you were unlovable. It means I am redirecting you towards something healthier. Something whole. You are not behind in life. You are not missing your moment. I do not work on human timelines. I work on heart readiness. And your heart is growing wiser, stronger, more grounded with every tear you release into my hands. I am teaching you discernment, not distrust. I am teaching you boundaries, not bitterness. I am teaching you to recognize when love flows freely and when it costs too much of your soul. These lessons will serve you far beyond this season. Stay soft, my child. Do not harden your heart because someone else was unable to show up fully. Your softness is sacred. I will protect it. I will surround you with love that does not confuse you or keep you guessing. You are not walking away empty-handed. You are walking forward with truth. And truth will always lead you closer to me, closer to peace, closer to the love that does not compete with anyone else's past. My beloved child, remain here with me. Let the noise settle. Let the questions soften. You do not need to have everything decided right now. Healing does not demand urgency, it asks for honesty. And you are being honest with me, even when you are still confused within yourself. I know there is a quiet fear rising in you, the fear that if you truly accept this truth, you will feel an ache you've been postponing. You are afraid of the emptiness that might follow if you stop waiting. Stop hoping in the same way, stop replaying every word and moment. But hear me gently, emptiness is not your enemy. Emptiness is space. And space is where I rebuild. You have been living with your heart slightly tense, always alert, always wondering what the next message means, what the silence means, what her presence still means. That is not rest. That is survival. And I did not create you merely to survive love. I created you to be nourished by it. You ask me why this hurts so deeply if it is not meant to last. My child, pain is not proof of permanence. Pain is often proof of sincerity. You loved with purity. You hoped with innocence. You trusted with courage. Those things do not disappear just because the situation must change. They remain part of who you are, refined, not wasted. Do not think that stepping back erases the memories. It simply changes their power. Memories should inform you, not imprison you. When you release what you cannot control, you regain yourself. And regaining yourself is holy work. You are learning that love must be mutual not only in words, but in emotional availability, in presence, in priority. You are learning that you cannot build a future with someone who is still negotiating with their past. That realization is not harsh, it is wise. I know there is still compassion in you for him. That compassion does not make you weak. But compassion does not require self-abandonment. You can understand his struggle without volunteering to be wounded by it again. You can care without carrying what does not belong to you. You are not being punished by this delay. You are being protected from settling for half answers and half love. I am guarding the fullness of what I placed inside you. I am ensuring that when love meets you again, it recognizes you clearly and chooses you without hesitation. Trust me in the quiet days ahead. Trust me when the urge to reach out rises and you decide instead to breathe and pray. Trust me when loneliness whispers lies, telling you that this was your only chance. It was not. I am not limited. And neither is your future. You do not need to close your heart. Just open your hands. What slips away was not meant to be held this way. What remains will surprise you with peace. Stay near me. I am doing more than you can see, my precious one. I am still here, and I am still speaking, even in the spaces between these words. I know there is a quiet ache now, not sharp like before, but deep and lingering. That ache is not a warning sign. It is a tender place opening where truth is finally being allowed to rest. Do not be afraid of it. I am close to that place. You are beginning to see that what troubled you was not only her influence, but the way it made you doubt yourself. You questioned your intuition. You second-guessed your needs. You learned to wait instead of being met. And slowly, without meaning to, you began to place your worth on someone else's readiness. That is what I am lifting off you now. I want you to hear this clearly, because it will steady you. Another person's inability to choose fully does not reduce the depth of your love or the beauty of your heart. It only reveals where they are unfinished. You were not too much. You were simply present in a space where someone else was still divided. You have asked me why I allowed you to love someone who could not yet love you freely. My child, some seasons teach us what we deserve by showing us what we should no longer accept. You needed to feel the difference between intensity and safety, between affection and commitment, between hope and peace. These lessons are painful, yes, but they are also protective. I know there are moments when you still want me to change him, to release him, to make him see what he is risking. But I do not transform people through pressure. I transform them through surrender. And surrender cannot be borrowed from another's faith. It must be chosen. What you can choose is yourself. You can choose to honor the signals your heart has been sending you. You can choose to step out of emotional waiting rooms and back into the fullness of your life. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop postponing your healing. You are not walking away from love. You are walking toward alignment. Toward a love that will not ask you to compete with memory, guilt, or unfinished history. Toward a love that shows up without you needing to decode silence or explain your pain. Let me remind you of who you are becoming. You are becoming someone who listens to peace. Someone who trusts discernment. Someone who no longer confuses longing with calling. This growth is quiet, but it is profound. If there are days when you feel lonely, bring that loneliness to me. Do not rush to fill it with explanations, distractions, or emotional crumbs. Sit with me. I will meet you there. I will not let emptiness swallow you. I will use it to restore you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not losing anything meant for you. I am simply guiding you out of a season where love felt uncertain and into one where love will feel clear. Stay gentle with yourself. Healing does not move in straight lines. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will miss what almost was. Both are part of release. I am patient with you. Be patient with yourself. I love you deeply, with a love that does not hesitate, does not divide, does not compete. Let that love steady you now. I am leading you forward, and you are not walking alone. My beloved child, breathe with me for a moment. Let the weight you've been carrying slide gently from your shoulders. I know even now your heart is still trying to understand, still revisiting moments, still wondering if there was something more you could have done. That questioning does not make you weak. It makes you human. And I am not distant from your humanity. I dwell within it. There is a tenderness forming in you that did not exist before. You are becoming more aware of yourself, more attentive to what your spirit needs. That awareness may feel uncomfortable at first, because it asks you to stop abandoning yourself for the sake of holding on to someone else. But this discomfort is not harm. It is growth. You are learning that love should not require constant interpretation. You should not have to read between lines or decode silence to feel secure. When love is healthy, it speaks plainly. When love is ready, it stands firmly. Anything less leaves you guessing, and I never designed your heart to live in uncertainty. I know part of you still wonders if stepping back will make him realize what he has lost. Release that thought gently. His realization is not your responsibility. Your healing does not depend on his awakening. Even if he never understands fully, you will still move forward whole, because your worth does not require his acknowledgement. You have been loyal even in confusion. You have been faithful even in emotional drought. That says something beautiful about you. But loyalty without reciprocity slowly drains the soul. I am teaching you that mutuality is not a luxury, it is a foundation. Do not rush the process of detachment. Some days you will feel free, and some days the memory will tug at you unexpectedly. That does not mean you are going backward. It means your heart is untangling itself layer by layer. I am patient with that process. I walk each step with you. When the urge to look back grows strong, anchor yourself in the present. Ask yourself not what you miss, but what you need. Ask not what could have been, but what is being restored in you now. You are reclaiming your voice. You are reclaiming your clarity. You are reclaiming your peace. I am not closing your heart to love. I am opening it to wisdom. The love that will come to you will not feel like waiting in the dark. It will feel like stepping into light. It will not confuse you. It will confirm you. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to expect consistency. You are allowed to desire a love that meets you fully. These desires do not make you demanding. They make you aligned with the truth of who you are. Stay close to me in this season. Let me be the one who reassures you when doubt creeps in. Let me be the one who holds you when memories resurface. You do not need to numb yourself or rush into something new to prove you are okay. You are okay because I am with you. I am doing a quiet work in you, strengthening your discernment, softening your fear, steadying your heart. One day you will look back and realize this was not the season you lost something, but the season you found yourself again. Rest now, my child. Trust the unfolding. What lies ahead will not require you to compete, to wait in uncertainty, or to question your worth. I am leading you into peace, and peace will feel like home, my precious child. Let these final words settle gently into you, not as an ending, but as a seal of truth over everything you have heard. I know this journey has felt long, heavier than you ever expected love to feel. But understand this now with calm assurance: you are not broken by what you endured. You are clarified. What once confused you no longer has the same power. What once pulled at your heart no longer defines your direction. You may still remember, you may still feel tenderness, but you are no longer bound. That is growth. That is freedom beginning to breathe inside you. I want you to release the last hidden fear, the fear that choosing peace means choosing loneliness. That is not true. Peace is not empty. Peace is prepared. When I remove what divides you, I make room for what will stay. When I loosen your grip on what wavered, I ready your hands to receive what is steady. You were never meant to be loved in fragments. You were never meant to wonder if you were enough or if someone else still held influence over your place. The love I am leading you toward will not ask you to compete, wait in shadows, or question your value. It will meet you openly. It will choose you without delay. It will feel calm, not consuming, do not measure this season by what ended or what never fully began. Measure it by who you became. You learned discernment. You learned boundaries. You learned to listen to the quiet discomfort that speaks before pain arrives. These lessons will guard your heart far more than innocence ever could. If he ever crosses your mind again, let there be no bitterness there. Only understanding. Not everything unfinished is meant to be completed together. Some connections exist only to awaken us, not to accompany us forward. That does not lessen their meaning. It simply defines their purpose. I am proud of the way you chose truth even when it hurt. I am proud of the way you stayed soft without surrendering yourself completely. I am proud of the courage it took to stop waiting for clarity from someone else and receive it from me instead. Now lift your eyes forward. The season ahead is gentler. It will not rush you, confuse you, or test your worth. It will affirm you. It will feel aligned. It will feel safe. And when love meets you again, you will recognize it not by intensity, but by peace. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right where healing could finally reach you. Rest in my love now. I am with you. I have always been with you. And what is coming will not require you to lose yourself to be loved.